In the Factor Follow-Up segment tonight, as we've been reporting, First Lady Michelle Obama's Let's Move fitness program has raised some questions about whether the costs are justifiable and whether it's the proper function of government, period. Critics like myself have questioned the First Lady's high-profile, well-funded initiative during an election year, especially in those swing state visits. Mrs. Obama used an interview with an 11-year-old reporter from the Scholastic news outlet to rebut her critics.
Let's Move is not about having government tell people what to do, because government doesn't have all the answers. Parents have to make some changes at home, you know, but they need the information to be able to make those choices, and they have to have access to affordable foods. So we need government to do its part, but we need businesses to do their part as well.
Joining us now from New York is Democratic strategist and nanny state spokesman Bernard Whitman. Hey, Bernard, good to see you.
Hi, Laura. How are you?
Great. So, look, the First Lady has a laudable goal, I think, no doubt about it. I mean, we are becoming more obese. Children are suffering at an earlier age than ever. Health problems that were once the problems of adults only, and the problem is out of control. I think what some people are concerned about, however, is that the First Lady uses unelected power, namely she's the First Lady and not elected, to push various initiatives. Like, remember a couple of years ago, the child nutrition bill ended up about $5 billion that she pushed behind the scenes. Her husband did as well, and it basically sailed through the House of Representatives, went on to passage because of what she did to push this. And that had a lot to do with the cafeteria foods and so forth. Is this the right role for government?
Laura, actually, I think government's primary function ought to be to protect its citizens with as little intervention as possible, whether you're talking about healthcare, the economy, education, the environment, or civil liberties. And the truth is, we have an obesity epidemic in this country. More than 1 in 3 adults are obese. More than 1 in 3 children are obese or overweight. And the cost to our country is astounding. It costs more than $150 billion a year just in healthcare costs to deal with the effects of obesity in terms of increased incidence of stroke, heart disease, diabetes, some forms of cancer. And anytime government sees taxpayers spending tens of billions of dollars through programs like Medicare and Medicaid, they have a responsibility, in fact, to determine how to cut that spending, make it more efficient. That's exactly what the First Lady is trying to do.
Well, no, she doesn't. I don't think she's focusing on cutting spending.
Arming people with education so they can make better and more nutritious and healthy choices.
Well, but it's not quite that simple, because remember, she's flying around the country in these various Let's Move two-year anniversary stops. She went to Walt Disney World. She went to Longwood Church in Florida. She judged the Top Chef competition. I know that's critical for reducing obesity. Led aerobics classes. That's kind of fun. Arkansas, Texas, so forth. I mean, this stuff it's not cheap to do this. It's not cheap to move a government official and an entire entourage of people to do these events, mind you. But when you're talking about a $5 billion child nutrition bill, which there was a lot of Republicans who had problems with this, she really did become a political player. Again, her goal, I think you're right, is to help on obesity. But what's the evidence that the government's very good at doing stuff like that?
I think that the fact that we can use the First Lady through tens of millions of dollars in earned media to educate parents, to give them proper information, to help them make better decisions for their children.
But that's our decision. That's not her decision.
To get them engaged in exercise so that we can start controlling the growth of obesity. And ultimately, this helps lower health care costs, and it helps provide the economy with workers who actually are fit to hold jobs and contribute productively to the economy.
Do you think American people are so stupid that they don't know that when they eat 5 Big Macs, it's probably not good for them in the course of 2 days, or when they don't exercise for 3 weeks, or a month or a year, that it's probably not good for them? I think people know exactly what they're doing.
No,
and I don't think whether it's a Republican or a Democrat, lecturing them with the full force of the U.S. government behind them. I'm talking about the FDA. I'm talking about 4 different government agencies working with the First Lady on this. That has a lot more influence than just someone doing a PSA.
I know this through research. We do a lot of research here in New York City. People do not understand the amount of sodium and the amount of sugars that are in processed foods.
How did that Mike Bloomberg initiative work? How did that Mike Bloomberg menu initiative work?
They don't appreciate the fact that a little bit of exercise can go a long way.
Okay, so we need to spend millions of dollars to tell them that.
And all these diseases. The fact is,
right,
Michelle Obama's
personal
plan
responsibility
will actually help save tens of billions of dollars and probably help save hundreds of thousands of lives. How can we How can we be against having kids that are less
you know what
obese?
I'm for? I have this very odd idea. I'm for freedom. I'm for freedom. I want parents to be able to raise their kids with the values that they believe in, and I hope they do. I hope they do it well. Well, good. You must be in favor of other information given to women who are making important decisions.
It's just about giving the freedom of information.
Yeah. Well, they're spending a lot of money doing it, and I think that's the question. All right, Bernard. Thank you.